You're a person. Boom. Now you're not. Well, maybe. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind. If you're confused, don't worry. So am I. Princeton professor Liz Harmon attempted to make a defense for abortion that has everybody, including actor James Franco, who is interviewing her, scratching their heads. If you haven't seen the video, the gist of her argument is this. The moral worth of an early fetus depends on its future, which the mother decides. If an early fetus dies from miscarriage or abortion, then he or she never had moral worth and nothing bad has happened. But if that early fetus doesn't die, then he or she had moral worth all along. Liz deserves a gold medal for the mental gymnastics she does here to try to justify abortion without justifying infanticide like many other abortion rights arguments do. And just like every pro-abortion argument, this one doesn't work. Let's start with the obvious. She says that there are two very different kinds of beings among early fetuses, ones who have futures and ones who don't. Whether or not that early fetus has a future apparently determines its moral status. She never determines what it is about having a future that gives a human being value. Are some futures more valuable than others? Do early fetuses with longer futures have more value? How do future experiences bring inherent value? Plus, we're all gonna die at some point. Where's the cutoff point for death to justify an abortion? She says that if a fetus hasn't ever been conscious, it hasn't ever had any experiences, and we aborted it at that stage, that actually nothing morally bad happens. Before we even get to the fact that consciousness and experience are two very different things, we're drowning in ambiguity. Among the many questions I have are these. If a fetus isn't destined to have a future because she will die via miscarriage, is there then nothing wrong with just having the abortion? What if the child is destined to die at 6 months old or 2 years old? Could abortion been justified then? By having an abortion, you have changed the child's destiny. So abortion justifies abortion? Whew, that's a lot. In the interview, Harmon tells James Franco, "So you have moral status, and in my view, back when you were an early fetus, you had moral status. But it's not that aborting you would have been wrong, because if your mother had chosen to abort her pregnancy, then it wouldn't have been the case that you would have had moral status, because you would have died as an early fetus. So she would have been aborting something that didn't have moral status." Wait, what? It would have been wrong to kill you back then because you're alive now? I'm getting dizzy. And here's the zinger. She says it's derivative of its future that it gets to have moral status. So it's really that the future endows moral status on it, and if we allow it to have this future, then we're allowing it to be the kind of thing that now would have moral status. So some people get to choose which other humans do or do not have moral status, because nothing has ever gone wrong with this historically. This has got to be the strangest justification for abortion I've ever heard. And it really shows just how difficult it is to hold the position that there is nothing wrong with abortion. When this is the logic you have to come up with to justify your position, it's time to rethink its foundations.